So we're engaged with a lot of teachers in terms of conversation. And that frustration about how education was playing out has come through, and it's not getting any better. We could find education conferences about innovation and leadership, and that was still inside that whole competitive model. And so we, as we're apt to do, we just sort of looked at each other and said,
we'll do our own conference. Let's have our own.
And it was rehumanising within the next sentence, wasn't it?
I am of the mind that we can't leave these things in the hands of politicians, that it has to be from the ground up. We're talking about changing the system, having
sledgehammer.
Absolutely, it's my sledgehammer approach. It's destroying what we've got and building in its place something that will hold all people well.
Our current education system has really narrowed the idea of what it is to be a successful human being. And basically that's how you measure up according to a particular qualification or a particular standard. It's all comparative and competition. It's not about developing the whole person and the person's ability to live well in community, live well with other people, have a sense of awe and wonder and curiosity for learning and finding out, of being.
I think it really symbolises a lot about what we need to change about our education system. A lot of government policy when it comes to education is still driven by a very strong sense of individualism rather than collectivism, and rather than focusing on the interhuman interaction that's integral, vital in the educating process.
Well, we began with the Minister of Education. Bless him, who arrived with a speech and only used the last half page of it. And I think that was a humanising thing right from the start, that he spoke about stories that were real to him. And then Anne Milne and colouring in the white spaces. I mean, oh my goodness.
We cannot be oblivious to the fact that our system only works for some of our children, and we can predict who will be at the bottom of our achievement data with absolute accuracy before the school year even begins.
And then we moved on to Dr. Armin Tamatea from the University of Waikato. He's the clinical psychologist working in prisons. Nikki Hare from the University of Auckland.
I think we've already got these institutions that young people come into and learn a huge amount about what life is, and I think that's super precious. But a lot of their time is spent on these tasks that they find very boring, potentially challenging, that aren't actually bringing out their best selves. So I don't really want to give a percentage or a state along a continuum, but I can think of lots of things that could be changed pretty quickly.
The Kia Araha warrior researchers or warrior scholars, phenomenal young people.
I am a Year 13 student and a warrior researcher from Kia Araha College. We are a group of students from South Auckland who have a passion for our Otara community and for the plight for Indigenous and minoritised learners in Aotearoa.
So a warrior scholar is someone who is competent and confident in both Te Ao Māori and Te Ao Pākehā, meaning that they know who they are culturally, as well as being successful in the academic world, so to speak.
The topic of our presentation was, does humanisation depend on your postcode? So all of our speakers, we all had different topics. I personally looked into poverty and how that's dehumanising for people, especially people of our community.
In my group, we surveyed principals from 5 schools that range from decile 1 to decile 8. We only had to look at the ethnic makeup of these 5 schools.
The quality of teaching, the whiteness of our education system and our schools. The conference theme challenged the idea that academic achievement is the measure of student success.
Waiamiri felt that her mobile pauwa made her culture very evident, so people made assumptions about her before they even knew her. She said this was dehumanizing, racist. Terry and Swanee said it was dehumanizing to not be able to do what is considered normal for adults, to be able to look after and provide for your family.
In terms of our presenters, it has exceeded our expectation. Our presenters were wonderful and very giving and very sharing of their ideas and very supportive of people and have a willingness to have those ongoing conversations with people that have attended the conference. Our conference attendees have all been saying this was a wonderful day. We've got lots to think about. And they've gone away with some practical things that they can do in the classroom, but also some bigger ideas about how to actually address some of these issues in education.
I think making it more real when there's been, teenagers or young adults who spoke, and how real it is in their own research about real people who are living it and breathing it. It really kind of spoke to me about how much more there is to do and how racism really impacts on them in their world, and they're successful because of the way that school has changed the curriculum to make them feel successful and hold their culture.
We need to open up the floodgates so that we're able to discuss the realities of education as it is today.
I guess in the system that we're in, academic success is still like that end goal, but I think we also have to work on the well-being of our students.
So rehumanising education for me would mean how do we really start from the learner to design programs to support them as individuals on their own learning process, to empower them as humans and to live in this world.
We are enormously grateful to everybody who participated, to every delegate who came, to the postdoc students who offered to help and assist and be the registration desks, to every speaker, to the fact that the National Library hosted us. And they said, this is what we're here for. We're here for these sorts of conversations. We're just enormously grateful for everybody's participation.